Lee Radziwill has died at the age of 85. The late socialite was the younger sister of former U.S. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis and the sister-in-law of the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. With her net worth up to $50 million, but she left her whole fortune to just one person. It's quite a contrast to Jackie Kennedy Onassis's will, who generously instructed that each of Lee's children were to be given $500,000. Who stands to inherit her vast fortune? And why was that? Let's delve into a behind-the-scenes look at Lee Radziwill's glamorous yet complex life to find out. She had a privileged childhood. Caroline Lee Bouvier entered the world in New York City in 1933, where she would later be known by her middle name, Lee. Her father, John Verneau Bouvier III, made his living as a stockbroker, while her mother, Janet Lee, gracefully navigated New York society as a socialite. Born just 3.5 years apart, Lee and her sister Jackie shared a bond that transcended mere siblinghood. Their formative years were spent in a duplex nestled within the prestigious confines of 740 Park Avenue on New York's Upper East Side, a locale synonymous with wealth and privilege. Summers brought respite and joy as they frolicked in the serene surroundings of East Hampton as Vanity Fair details. However, the tranquility of their upbringing was disrupted by their parents' divorce during their youth. Lee harbored a belief that her father favored her sister, a sentiment she candidly expressed in her memoir, Happy Times. She acknowledged her father's preference for Jackie, attributing it to their shared name and striking resemblance. Despite this perception, Lee bore no resentment, understanding the pride her father took in his eldest daughter's likeness. Following the divorce, Janet embarked on a new chapter of her life, marrying Hugh Auchincloss and relocating with her daughters to his sprawling estate in Northern Virginia. For Lee, this transition was akin to stepping into a fairy tale, as she fondly recalled in an interview with the New York Times. The enchanting allure of the estate captured her imagination and offered solace amidst familial changes. Lee's academic pursuits led her to Sarah Lawrence College, where she immersed herself in learning for 3 semesters. Later, she ventured into the world of fashion, finding employment under the tutelage of legendary editor Diana Vreeland at Harper's Bazaar. What earned Lee Radziwill the title of Swan? What exactly earned Lee Radziwill the coveted title of Swan in Truman Capote's esteemed inner circle? This question begs exploration, as Capote reserved this moniker only for his closest and most refined female confidants. According to insights from those who knew her well, Lee's allure stemmed from a combination of factors that embodied the epitome of elegance and sophistication. Portrayed as a woman who seemingly had it all, Lee's status as a princess, coupled with her immense wealth, bestowed upon her a lifestyle of opulence and luxury. With residences in London and Manhattan, along with extravagant possessions like yachts and exquisite jewelry, Lee exuded an aura of refinement and grace that captured the attention of those around her. Raised in a family that placed a premium on social standing and prestige, Lee Bouvier, daughter of stockbroker John Verneau, Bouvier III and socialite Janet Lee Bouvier, was destined for a life of privilege and acclaim. Her debut on the social scene in 1950 solidified her reputation as a leading figure among debutantes of her time. However, despite her enviable status and undeniable charm, Lee's life was shadowed by the towering presence of her older sister, Jackie Bouvier, who would later ascend to the esteemed position of First Lady as the wife of President John F. Kennedy. The stark juxtaposition of their lives often left Lee grappling with feelings of inadequacy and jealousy, sentiments that were only exacerbated by Jackie's meteoric rise to global admiration. Truman Capote, renowned for his keen eye and discerning taste, recognized in Lee a captivating beauty and complexity that surpassed even that of her illustrious sister. Amidst the backdrop of sibling rivalry and personal struggles, Lee found solace and understanding in her friendship with Capote, forging a bond built on mutual trust and admiration. Despite the challenges and complexities that defined her relationship with her sister, Lee's journey through life was marked by moments of resilience and grace as she navigated the tumultuous currents of fame and fortune with poise and determination. Who was Lee Radziwill married to? Following in the footsteps of Truman Capote's other esteemed swans, Lee Radziwill embarked on a quest to secure a union with a wealthy and accomplished spouse. Remarkably, she achieved this feat not once, not twice, but 3 times over the course of her eventful life. In 1953, Lee exchanged vows with Michael Temple Canfield, an American diplomat, aide, and secretary stationed at the U.S. Embassy in London. Their marriage, however, proved to be short-lived, culminating in divorce just 5 years later in 1958. Undeterred by the dissolution of her first marriage, Lee soon found herself entwined in the arms of Polish aristocrat Stanislaw Albrecht Radziwiłł. Their union in 1959 marked the beginning of a new chapter in Lee's life as she ascended to the lofty heights of aristocratic society alongside her prince. Throughout their marriage, Lee luxuriated in a gilded lifestyle, residing in opulent estates in England and later establishing a grand apartment in the heart of Manhattan. Despite the allure of her aristocratic trappings, Lee's journey of matrimony did not end with her marriage to Prince Radziwiłł. In 1988, she entered into a union with Herbert Ross, a distinguished actor and director. Their partnership endured until 2001, when tragedy struck with Ross's passing, signaling the end of their marital bond. Throughout her romantic entanglements, Lee maintained a close friendship with Truman Capote, whose influence and presence remained a constant in her life. What was Lee Radziwill's friendship with Truman Capote like? The friendship shared between Capote and Radziwill was a truly unique and profound bond that transcended the conventional norms of social circles. Within the confines of this extraordinary relationship, Radziwill found solace and understanding, confiding in Capote about her deepest fears and insecurities in a way she had never before dared. Despite the weight of her emotions and the intensity of her jealousy towards her sister Jackie, Radziwill found a safe haven in Capote's presence, where she could unburden herself without fear of judgment or reproach. Lemur's account in Capote's Women captures the essence of Radziwill's vulnerability, highlighting her willingness to disclose her innermost struggles to Capote, even at the risk of exposing her most painful secrets. For Radziwill, who often felt trapped in her sister's shadow and struggled to assert her own identity, the friendship with Capote provided a rare opportunity to let down her guard and reveal her true self. Unlike her interactions with her peers, where competition and rivalry loomed large, Radziwill found in Capote a sympathetic ear and a trusted confidant who listened without reservation. The dynamic between the two women, as observed by Greenberg-Jeffcott, was layered with complexity, characterized by a delicate balance of friendship and rivalry. While Radziwill may have hesitated to acknowledge her shortcomings to her peers, she found comfort in Capote's unwavering support and admiration, even amidst her moments of vulnerability and regret. As Flockhart poignantly describes, Radziwill's decision to bare her soul to Capote was both liberating and fraught with consequences, reflecting the depth of their bond and the complexities of their relationship. What happened to their friendship? Truman Capote's literary ambitions often intersected with the lives of his high society friends, leveraging their experiences and scandals to fuel his creative endeavors, most notably his unfinished masterpiece, Answered Prayers. Although the novel never reached completion, Capote tantalized readers with excerpts published in Esquire, notably the infamous La Côte Basque, 1965. Within these gossipy vignettes, Capote wove a tapestry of scandal and betrayal, laying bare the private lives and indiscretions of his socialite acquaintances. While he spared few from his sharp pen, his most scathing portrayals were reserved for figures like Babe Paley and Slim Keith, whom he depicted in compromising situations and exposed to public scrutiny. However, amidst the damning portrayals, Capote surprisingly offered words of praise for Lee Radziwill, lauding her grace and beauty as he contrasted her with her sister, Jackie Kennedy. Despite being spared the brunt of Capote's literary barbs, Radziwill found herself embroiled in the fallout from his revelations. In a fateful turn of events, Capote's penchant for sensationalism led to a legal dispute with Gore Vidal, whom he had vilified in an interview. Seeking support, Capote turned to Radziwill, hoping she would corroborate his version of events. Yet, when faced with the prospect of perjury, Radziwill chose to distance herself, offering a neutral affidavit that undermined Capote's narrative. The fallout from this betrayal fractured the once close bond between Radziwill and Capote, leading to a bitter estrangement. Radziwill's subsequent remarks in a gossip column, wherein she used derogatory language against Capote, further exacerbated the rift between them, leaving Capote feeling betrayed and vengeful. In retaliation, Capote took to the airwaves, appearing on the Stanley Siegel show to air Radziwill's dirty laundry, exposing her innermost secrets and airing their grievances for all to see. Her relationship with her sister was difficult. Despite their shared upbringing and close proximity, rumors persisted about the complex dynamic between Lee and Jackie. Lawrence Leamer, author of Capote's Women, a true story of love, betrayal, and a swan song for an era, shed light on this intricate relationship, describing Lee as consumed by jealousy towards her sister. Leamer's insights, shared with People magazine, illuminate the challenges Lee faced as the younger sibling to a towering figure like Jackie, the First Lady of the United States. The immense spotlight cast upon Jackie inevitably cast a shadow over Lee, fostering feelings of envy and insecurity. However, amidst the whispers of jealousy, Lee and Jackie shared moments of genuine closeness. During Jackie's tenure in the White House, Lee stood by her side, accompanying her on various official engagements. Their bond was palpable during a trip to London with President Kennedy and on an official visit to India and Pakistan in 1962, as documented by the Associated Press. Lee played a pivotal role in shaping Jackie's celebrated sense of style, offering her guidance and assistance in selecting wardrobe pieces for these high-profile excursions. In her memoir, Happy Times, Lee reminisced about their shared adventures, emphasizing their mutual affection and a deep-seated connection forged through laughter and camaraderie. Lee's presence not only provided companionship for Jackie, but also served as a source of support and comfort amidst the demands of public life. Their shared sense of humor became a cornerstone of their relationship, offering moments of levity and respite amid the pressures of their respective roles. Lee was unhappy with her sister's second marriage. Lee's connection to Aristotle Onassis predates his marriage to Jackie in 1968. Rumors swirled about a romantic involvement between Lee and Onassis, fueling speculation about the nature of their relationship. This speculation gained traction in 1963 during a pivotal European trip with President Kennedy, which included stops in England, Italy, Germany, and Ireland. Lee's presence alongside the president raised eyebrows and fueled gossip about her alleged romance with Onassis. The events took a dramatic turn in August 1963 as Jackie grappled with the heart-wrenching loss of her newborn son. During this trying period, Lee found solace aboard Onassis's luxurious yacht, further igniting speculation about the nature of her relationship with the Greek shipping magnate. Years later, amidst the backdrop of personal and political upheaval following the assassination of Robert Kennedy, Jackie shocked the world by marrying Onassis. The swift union between Jackie and Onassis, which occurred shortly after Robert Kennedy's tragic death, raised eyebrows and fueled further speculation about the complexities of their relationships with each other and with Lee. Through it all, the intertwined lives of the Kennedy family and Lee Radziwill remained shrouded in intrigue and mystery. Alleged affair with JFK destroyed Jackie Kennedy's friendship with her sister. The intense rivalry between Jackie Kennedy and her sister, Caroline Lee Radziwill, is extensively explored in The Fabulous Bouvier Sisters, The Tragic and Glamorous Lives of Jackie and Lee, by authors Sam Kashner and Nancy Schoenberger. The book unveils a lifelong feud between the sisters, highlighting Lee's romantic involvement with John F. Kennedy and Jackie's subsequent marriage to Aristotle Onassis, the man Lee was reportedly in love with. According to the authors, Jackie maintained a list of enemies, and Lee's name was firmly on it. When Jackie passed away in 1994, she notably excluded her sister from her will, stating, "I have made no provision in this my will for my sister, Lee B. Radziwill, for whom I have great affection, because I have already done so during my lifetime." This apparent snub stemmed from Lee's affair with Jackie's husband, the late John F. Kennedy. Gore Vidal, a close friend of Jackie, disclosed that Lee's first husband, Michael Canfield, confided in him about Lee's intimate relationship with JFK. The book also delves into the privileged upbringing of the sisters, split between a luxurious apartment on Park Avenue and summers in the Hamptons. However, it portrays a mother determined to ensure her daughters marry into wealth, grooming them to extract financial security from men. Describing their penchant for couture and extravagant spending on wardrobe, the authors note how their stepfather, Hugh Auchincloss, financed their private schooling, which included education in Europe. Ultimately, the book suggests that Lee, who passed away in 2019, grappled with her identity after living in the shadow of her older sister, Jackie. Radziwill's final years and death. Lee Radziwill's influence extended far beyond the realm of high society, leaving an indelible mark on the world of fashion and style. Her impeccable taste and innate sense of elegance garnered her widespread acclaim, culminating in her induction into the International Best Dressed Hall of Fame in 1996. Throughout her life, Radziwill remained a beacon of sartorial sophistication, cultivating close relationships with esteemed designers such as Giorgio Armani, who regarded her as a muse and drew inspiration from her timeless aesthetic. Despite her status as a fashion icon, Radziwill faced financial challenges in her later years, grappling with the pressures of maintaining her extravagant lifestyle. To alleviate the strain, she ventured into real estate, liquidating assets such as her Paris apartment in an effort to secure her financial stability. Reports suggest that Radziwill relied on a trust fund established by her mother to supplement her income, providing a semblance of financial security amidst her struggles. Despite these challenges, Radziwill maintained her grace and dignity until the end, facing adversity with characteristic poise and resilience. In February 2019, Radziwill passed away peacefully in her New York apartment at the age of 85, leaving behind a legacy that transcended the confines of wealth and status. Her funeral on February 25th served as a poignant reminder of her enduring impact, drawing A-list guests from the fashion and arts worlds who gathered to pay tribute to her unparalleled elegance and wit. The battle over the Radziwill fortune. Lee Bouvier. Radziwill's last will and testament, a document spanning 16 pages, stands as a testament to her meticulous planning and clear intentions regarding the distribution of her vast estate, estimated at a staggering $50 million. The will, signed by Lee on September 20, 2018, offers a glimpse into her final wishes and the beneficiaries she deemed deserving of her legacy. In a surprising turn of events, the primary beneficiary named in Lee's will is her lone surviving child, Anna Christina Tina Radziwill. The decision to exclude Carol DeFalco. Radziwill, Lee's daughter-in-law and former star of The Real Housewives of New York City, from any mention in the will raises eyebrows and sparks speculation about the dynamics within the family. The filing of Lee's will in New York County, Lower Manhattan, on March 22, 2019, and its subsequent exclusive acquisition by Daily Mail TV shed light on the intricacies of her estate planning. The absence of Carol, as well as Lee's niece Caroline Kennedy Schlossberg and her children, Rose, Tatiana, and John, from the will's beneficiary list, raises questions about familial relationships and potential rifts within the Radziwill Kennedy clan. Interestingly, the contrast between Lee's will and that of her sister, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, adds another layer of complexity to the situation. While Jackie's will, drafted upon her passing in 1994, displayed a generosity that extended to each of Lee's children, leaving them $500,000 each, Lee's own testament takes a markedly different approach in its distribution of assets. In her meticulously crafted last will and testament, Lee Radziwill left clear directives regarding the disposition of her considerable estate, valued at an estimated $50 million. With her son, Anthony, having predeceased her, Lee designated her daughter, Anna Christina Radziwill, affectionately known as Tina, as the sole beneficiary of her assets. One notable provision in the will directed the executors to sell Lee's co-op apartment located at 160 East 72nd Street in Manhattan, along with any associated shares of stock or securities, and to include the proceeds from the sale as part of her residuary estate. At the time of her passing, Lee resided in this apartment, which served as her primary residence, having split her time between there and her pied-à-terre in Paris. Despite her prestigious lineage and social status, Lee reportedly faced financial challenges throughout her life. Despite being the younger sister of Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, whose estate was valued at over $200 million, Lee often found herself in need of financial assistance, purportedly turning to her sister for support to finance her extravagant lifestyle. Jackie's decision not to include Lee as a beneficiary in her own will, explaining that she had already provided for her sister during her lifetime, underscores the complex dynamics of their relationship. However, Lee's last will and testament sheds light on a trust established by their mother, Janet Lee Auchincloss, for Lee's benefit, indicating a source of financial support that extended beyond her marriages. The will also revealed that Tina, as Lee's surviving child, would inherit not only the assets outlined in the will, but also the trusts established in both her and her mother's names. Although the exact value of these trusts was not disclosed, they represent a significant aspect of Lee's estate planning and provide further insight into her financial affairs. Tina Radziwill has deliberately chosen a life away from the glare of the spotlight, preferring a low-key existence that contrasts sharply with the high-profile world of her famous relatives. At her mother's funeral, which drew attention from the press due to the presence of prominent figures like Caroline Kennedy, Tina remained relatively unnoticed. Currently residing in New York City, Tina's professional occupation is listed as a producer. She was briefly married to Ottavio Arancio, a Columbia University professor of medicine, from 1999 to 2005. Their union did not result in any children. Tina's father was her mother's second husband, the late Polish Prince Stanislaw A. Radziwill. The couple divorced in 1974, and Stanislaw, affectionately known as Stash, passed away 2 years later in 1976. Tina's baptism in June 1961 at Westminster Cathedral in London was attended by her uncle, then-President John F. Kennedy. As a distant relative of the British royal family, Tina can trace her lineage back to Sophia of Hanover. However, being Roman Catholic, she is not included in the line of succession to the British throne. In her last will and testament, Lee Radziwill chose two close friends, Hamilton South and Martin B. O'Connor II, as her executors, rather than appointing Tina or another family member. Hamilton South, who also shared a close bond with Lee's late niece, Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, delivered the eulogy at Lee's Requiem funeral mass. In a rare tweet on the day of the funeral, South paid tribute to Lee's exceptional character, describing her as superior to everyone. Martin B. O'Connor, too, the managing partner of the law firm O'Connor, Morse and O'Connor, was selected by Lee for his long-standing friendship, legal expertise, and financial acumen, as evidenced by her letter dated August 22, 2018. In the letter, Lee expressed her confidence in O'Connor's integrity and abilities, emphasizing his role as a co-executor and co-trustee under her revocable trust agreement. Depending on the assessed value of Lee Radziwill's estate, her chosen executors could potentially earn commissions ranging from 2 to 4%, as stipulated in her letter. While the exact value of her estate wasn't disclosed, she provided an example where a probate estate valued at $1,000 would entitle the executor to commissions of $34,000 in accordance with New York State statutory rates. Martin B. O'Connor II, one of the appointed executors, not only provided legal counsel but also accompanied Lee to social events in New York City, such as art gallery receptions, demonstrating their close friendship beyond professional duties. O'Connor, married to former Vanity Fair features editor Jane Sarkin, shared a bond with Lee that extended beyond legal matters. Lee's relationship with her daughter-in-law, Carol Radziwill, experienced fluctuations following the tragic death of Anthony Radziwill in August 1999, just weeks after the plane crash that claimed the lives of John F. Kennedy Jr., Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, and Lauren Bessette. Despite the heartbreak, Lee and Carol supported each other, finding solace in their shared grief. Carol expressed her enduring connection to Lee despite the absence of familial ties, highlighting their mutual experiences of loss and heartbreak. Unfortunately, Lee and Carol were unable to meet in person before Lee's passing, although they did have a final conversation over the phone 2 weeks prior to her death. Lee's funeral, designed by David Mon, attracted a host of prominent figures from various industries, including fashion, publishing, and entertainment. Attendees included Peter Beard, Marc Jacobs, Tory Burch, Carolina Herrera, Jan Wenner, Caroline and Ed Schlossberg, Sofia Coppola, Dita Blair, and Andre Leon Talley. Following the service, Lee's remains were cremated, and her ashes were entrusted to her daughter, Tina Radziwill. Despite her financial challenges during her lifetime, Lee ensured that her funeral expenses were promptly settled, directing in her will that all debts and funeral expenses be paid without delay. She also instructed against using extraordinary measures or accounting loopholes to avoid paying death taxes, reflecting her desire for financial transparency and responsibility, even after her passing. As we come to the end of this glimpse into the fascinating life of Lee Radziwill, there are a few lingering questions that remain. What treasures might be discovered while sifting through her opulent homes? Were there unseen hands behind her iconic style, or was it solely her creative vision? And what mysteries are concealed within the trusts and accounts that sustained her wealth? We'd love to hear your thoughts, too. Feel free to share your own lingering questions about the enigmatic Lee Radziwill. What aspects of her life still puzzle you? Share your thoughts below to let us know. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.